Well, hey guys, just wanted to give you a little update on my Axial Jeep Rubicon Project Apache. Making a little progress. So far, we've built up both the axles. Here's the rear axle here with all the links. Then the front axle, got that going. Built up the transmission. Got all the pieces in there. It's spinning real nice and smooth. Now when you get to this point in instructions, you're ready to start putting the frame together. You can see the Axial comes with nice metal frame rails and then plastic cross members. So we're going to kind of build this up. We'll go front to back, putting it together. One thing to note, some of the cross members here, you'll see that they have a hole, and then some of them have an extra little pin. So when you're putting this together, you'll see there's two holes here. There's a smaller hole and a bigger hole. When you put this together, the pin should snap into that smaller hole. On some of them, it'll kind of hold it together to help you put it together. So we'll go ahead and start and put this together. So following the instructions, we'll grab our first screw here. We'll start putting this in. Now remember, with these plastic pieces, you don't need these screws to be too tight. Just nice and snug. So go on to the second piece here. Just make sure you have your instructions laid out so you get all the pieces in the right spot. Some of these only bolt into one spot, so you can't really mess it up, but if there's a way, some people will figure it out. So we'll get this next one in here. That's screwed in. Alright, so there's the second piece. Now the next step is for the shock tower. This one will take little countersunk screws. So start off, we'll get this in here. Kind of line up the holes here a little bit, right about there. And you gotta be a little coordinated here, getting all these pieces together. We'll get that. Once we get that first screw in, make this a little bit easier. Nice and snug. Put this one in. Get that nice and snug. Alright, well there we go. It's already starting to take shape. So our next piece will be the transmission. Now this one can be installed either way, but it looks like the preferred way is they want the engine to be on the left side. You'll see I don't have a motor in this yet because I haven't ordered it yet, but that should be coming hopefully pretty soon. So this one, it also has the pins and then a few holes here. So make sure we get this lined up right there. Some of them might be a little stubborn. There we go. And this one, they want you to use these little pieces here. Looks like these might be used for holding some wires. And those will also take the countersunk screws. So go ahead and get a screw put in that. Put that in there. Tighten that down. One more here. Get that tightened down. Look at that. Transmission's in. So move on to the rear shock tower now. Now the rear shock towers are the same on both sides, but the fronts have different part numbers. One's one is a number 2. This one's number 1. Both of these are number 3. So make sure you look closely on your parts tree because there is a forward and a back to these. Now for this rear shock tower, on instructions, they want you to use these rear holes here. And that's the setup for the Jeep JK body. Now if you're running a little shorter wheelbase rig, it looks like you have the option to put it a little forward there, about a little over a 1/4 inch or so, depending on what kind of body you want to run. But for us, we're going to use these rear holes. Alright. Now also pay attention to your cross members here. There's a a bottom side and a top side. Of course, right here with the holes, they're going to go on the top, so you can't see it from the bottom. Get everything lined up. Right about there. There, and these also take countersunk screws. Go ahead and tighten this down. I'll tighten this one down. Just like that. Alright, this one last cross member. This piece here. You'll see it could go either way, but it looks like they want these pieces here to be on the bottom side. So we'll put it in just like that. Now I'll take a button head screw. There we go. Just like that, we have half the frame built. So I'm going to use a little bit of movie magic here to put the rest of it together. Just like that, we've got a completed frame. So something to note, when you're putting this other side of the frame on, remember those little pins I was telling you about? Well, now you need to line them up kind of all at once here. So it'll take a little bit of massaging to get it all together. But once you do, you can start putting all your screws in and get those tightened down. Before you know it, you got a completed frame. It's a pretty sturdy, nice looking frame. So I'm pretty happy with how much progress we've made so far. So kind of our next steps, we're going to be looking at putting the shocks together. And we'll get the shocks in it, get the axles put under it. Before you know it, we'll have a roller. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be sure to make more videos. In the meantime, feel free to ask any questions you want. I'll do my best to answer them.